Three, two, one. Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Drewski with Cryptid Warfare and Conspiracies Podcast and CW Operations and Survival. Hope you guys are having a blessed week. And yeah, other than that, for all the people who are out there in Texas and basically all over the world, they're dealing with when it comes to natural disasters or anything like that. We just want to let you know that we guys are praying for you. And yeah, so hope you guys are doing okay. Other than that, guys, if you guys got any stories, you guys got any factual information, you guys just want to, come on here, and just talk. You guys got any prayer requests? Go ahead and shoot me an email, cryptidwarfare@gmail.com. It's cryptidwarfare@gmail.com. Also, too, you guys are having any critter issues or anything like that when it comes to cryptids, paranormal, or spiritual warfare. Also, too, guys, we also teach gun classes, survival tactics, stuff like that. Go ahead and shoot me another email at c.woperations17905@gmail.com, or just hit me up on the places where I'm pretty heavy at, which is Instagram and Facebook. All right. Well, other than that, that's enough about that stuff. Guys, let's get to the guests on the show. Now, this wonderful woman I've actually gotten linked up with through Miss Janet. Holla at Janet. I'm sure you guys have listened to her podcast. She's been on multiple podcasts when it comes to Kevin, Where the Weird Ones Are, paranormal radio, stuff like that. So you guys hit up Miss Janet. Yeah, I will put that link in the show notes. Anyways, guys, she hit me up with this wonderful woman, aka Combat Midwife. Her name is Jessica. Miss Jessica, I'm glad to have you on the show.
Thank you so much for having me, Drew. I appreciate it.
Yeah, 100%. So I just want to say I appreciate what you do, and for all the people that you help out and stuff like that when it comes to law enforcement, medical, special forces, stuff like that, military. So yeah, appreciate you, man. So from a first responder to you as well, girl, keep doing the good work. So, and that is one thing, gosh, man, if I actually had to go back and learn something, it would definitely be more of the medical aspect, because, girl, that is a trade and skill that's dire, because it is life and death when it comes to that. 100%.
Yeah, when we're picking teams, I definitely am gonna be first pick.
Yeah. 100%. Seriously, dude, I'm telling you what, because back in the day when I was in law enforcement, we're doing SWAT and stuff like that, we always had our medic, man. Always made sure our medic was good to go and protected and everything. Or if we're running like diamond formations, T formations, stuff like that. So like, hey, where's the medic at? All right, we're good to go. Like, just make sure that the medic was okay and good to go. So yeah, that was one thing that would always stress me out, is like, dude, where's the medic at? Okay, we're good.
For sure. I make that joke often of, when this really does all go south and we're doing Red Rover and picking teams, I definitely am in the first wave of picks so that's what I bring to the table.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, seriously, you're like, we're taking Jessica. Get over here.
Yeah, exactly. For sure.
Right on, girl. Okay, so yeah, let's just get into it. So I think I want to know is, first of all, like the whole business aspect, right?
Okay.
Where did all this start for you? What made you want to get into this stuff?
Yeah, so I have always been drawn to the medical world, and specifically delivering babies. You can call my mom if you want to right now. It might be a little early, her time zone, but you can give her a call and she'll be like, oh, yeah. Jessica always wanted to deliver babies. That's all she said. But I'm sure, I don't know this for certain. I'd have to ask her, but I do think that she probably was patting my head going, there, you'll want to be a lion tamer and then an astronaut, and then you'll want to be a teacher. That's because that's just what kids do, right? They just kind of take on things. But I never deviated. So this was kind of my gig. It's just been my calling. I truly believe it's a calling from God, and it's just a gift that I've been given, and I'm choosing to use that in many different facets in order to help family, community, neighbors, and I'm passing that on to everybody else. So I really got nervous and started kind of panicking, going, I don't I don't, as every 12-year-old A personality firstborn daughter would do. I was having a minor panic attack going, I don't know if I want to go to medical school. What if I can't see blood? And then I wasted all this time and money. I'm going to panic, right? Like I'm going to freak out. Well, I had uncles that were firefighters and they just said, hey, if you can become a firefighter and a medic, then you can, a paramedic, you can do absolutely anything.
Yep.
So, say less to Jessica and it's going to happen. So I was like, all right, I'll do it. So I did both of those things while I was still in high school. So I got into the EMS world and the fire world before I graduated high school. It's also a very, again, A personality kind of, right? Like, sure, I'll do everything. So I kind of had a really great career jumping right out of high school, and I loved it. And I did some really awesome, fun things in the civilian world. And then we went to war. I'm using air quotes, right? We went to whatever the heck that was in the sandbox. And I got headhunted by the Army. And I implemented a rule for myself very early on in my career, and that was never, ever say no to an interview. And I did that for multiple reasons, but one of them being the fact that you never know what type of relationship you can cultivate with that other person in front of you, even if you don't take the job. Like, even if it's not the right fit, you never know what type of connection you're going to make with somebody. So I said, sure, yeah, of course, I'll interview for whatever the heck this is. I had no idea what I was getting into. I got hired on the spot because of my background and just the things that I had done up to that point. And I started that following Monday. And I hit the ground running. I didn't speak militaryese. I didn't have anybody in my immediate family. I had grandfathers that served in World War II. So like, that's really disconnected from me, right? Like, I don't know what I'm even doing, but I had the medical stuff really down pat. And I just needed to take that info and kind of smush it into their world, which I did really well. And I basically fell in love with a whole new aspect of medicine. And now I had two loves, right? I wanted to deliver babies, but I was also really loving all of this military medicine. And I kind of climbed the ranks on that. So I went on from training the combat medics to the flight medics, and then special warfare kind of picked me up, and I did some really cool, I do really cool things with them too. So I still have my hand in that aspect, but I was recognizing that there was this really big problem with civilians continuously contacting me because social media really took off during that whole time. And so I'm posting what I'm doing, and I'm sharing all the things that I'm doing with all my soldiers online. And I keep getting message after message after message going, hey, so like, can I just sit in the back of the classroom and audit what you're doing? And I'm like, no, ma'am. Like, no, ma'am, you cannot. I can't bring you on base, let alone I can't let you hang out with a bunch of people I don't even know their first names, right? Like, no, sorry, honey, you can't do that. Or sorry, sir, it's not going to work. So I just kind of was filing all of that information, and I realized, you know what? I'm just going to pull out all the stuff that individuals don't need to know about, right? Like, I'm going to pull out all and I mean civilians, right? I'm going to pull out all the med stuff that they can't do. I'm not teaching people how to do a chest tube in 3.2 seconds. Like, I'm pulling all that tactical under fire stuff kind of out. And we're just going to get down to the nitty gritties of how to care for the most vulnerable patients, which are women and children. So if and when the grid goes down, civil unrest, which we are currently constantly living in, the incredible uptick in, we'll call them natural disasters if you really want to, if that makes you feel warm and fuzzy and at night, sure. But whatever's going on in the world right now, there's more of it, right? Yeah. And so being able to recognize how to care for women and children in your family, your neighborhood, and your community is just so important. So that's why I've created the Combat Midwife workshop, and it's an 8-hour all day hands-on. It is water hose on crack. Like, you're getting a ton of really awesome information, but it's all digestible and it's all able to be implemented immediately, right?
Yeah.
So I took lessons learned from the military and from EMS, and I turned it into, this is a civilian medical responder course specifically geared towards women and children. And we start off with, this is what a menstrual cycle is. That's like slide 1. And we go all the way through the first year of life. So this is what you do with an infant who has a fever and you can't get to X, destination.
Yeah.
So it is really intensive, but the students walk away going, why was I never taught this? Why did no one ever tell me I could take care of myself, my pregnant wife, my sister who's having a period issue, and I can't get to, Walgreens isn't always available to us. That isn't something that's always going to be accessible. And then we have an entire, I think it's our generation really that's pulling away dramatically from the medical industrial complex. Well, all the complexes, but specifically there's this big upheaval of, dude, they can't be trusted.
Yeah.
Like, you're getting black market under the table deals on my life, on my family, on my blood. I can't trust you. And I think a lot of people noticed that, obviously, definitely 5 years ago with the pandemic, but I think a lot of people were noticing that beforehand. Let me get this straight. You want me to take the most important person in my whole life, my wife, you want me to drop her off at the ER door at the hospital, and you want me to wave at her and say, see ya, honey, in 3 days, maybe we'll have a baby, maybe we won't, during 2020? Like, what psychotic crap is that?
100%. Yeah.
So we have this huge shift of, I don't want that. I'm not buying that. You can't sell that to me. I'm out. I'm tapping out. So we have an entire culture of people that are going, hey, I want to be prepared if I can't get to the hospital. And then now we can flash to things like Katrina, the Carolina and Eastern Tennessee, right? Where those people still don't have freaking houses.
Yeah.
Okay. We can also look at the historic events of World War II, Vietnam. We can look at what happened when Afghanistan fell, where you have moms throwing babies over Constantine wire because they're like, I'm going to die today. Today, my number came up, but not my child. I will sacrifice for my baby. So if you are that prepper family, what do you do when you have the entire community knows that family has provisions, and you've got a 3-month-old sitting on your front doorstep one morning because she knew she's not going to make it, but her baby is, because she knows you have stuff. So my course is wrapped around taking lessons learned from history, from my own experiences working in refugee camps, from my own experience with the military, and years of delivering babies in out of hospital settings as a midwife. And I've pushed it into this really fun, really hands-on course of, you don't have to actually participate in any, you can just exit the system. And here, I'm giving you the hall pass. Here it is.
Yeah, that's good stuff. And man, I really do think, I'm going to call it what it is, the freaking pandemic, the jab really opened up a lot of people's minds when it comes in the medical field on,
For sure.
like you said, on these, example, like almost like a BlackRock and all these other places that monopolize and control everything when it comes to, the medicines that we're supposed to take, and that they're, with the whole jab and all that stuff. And me with myself being as a prepper, and also like the community I run around, that is one thing. And also that being a hardcore Christian, like reading the Bible and knowing it's going to get worse.
Yeah.
and going to get way worse and going to get way worse before it gets better.
Right.
And not only that, you know, there's so many people in, I'll just call it like it is. There's so many people in the heads when it comes to like the black box government, stuff like that.
Right.
You know, trying to control the aspect of the population on what they can do, what we can't do, stuff like that. To me, like the more prepared you are, the more off grid you are, the more you know, the better prepared you are. And yeah, and you know, and that is one thing that, okay, as preppers, what number one thing, what do we get at? Okay, let's just get like the whole like security aspect down. Prepping food, prepping water, prepping for security, but a lot of people really don't think about the whole medical aspect. Okay. I
Right.
got to store up on A, B, C, and D. Like, example, I got all kinds of tourniquets. I got all kinds of chest seals, stuff like that, medical. But people don't think about the children aspect. A lot of people don't know that there are different sizes to tourniquets. There's children's size tourniquets. You can't put a regular freaking tourniquet on a little infant or a little kid or something like that because it's too big. And yeah, you're right. Like, you know, when it comes to that. So, yeah. Anyways, yeah, just keep going. Sorry about that. I kind of went on like a little tangent, but yeah.
No, you're fine. I think that is really important. I'm just as guilty of this as anyone else, and that
Yeah.
is just thinking, okay, if I'm prepping for the world ending, we instantaneously have the image of whatever our favorite post-apocalyptic movie is, right? Like
Yeah.
that's
Or
the image
situation. Yeah.
that pops into our head. I'm just as guilty of that as anyone else. So this isn't me casting stones on a glass house at all. It's really just me saying, hey, I have some really cool skills and I'd love to share it with you, because it's not even just birth and baby. It's really like, what do you do with a UTI, a yeast
Yeah.
infection, bacterial vagin? Like, what do you do with all that stuff when you have a female that can't shower properly, clean properly? What do you do post sexual assault or rape? Like, how do you
Pre-act.
take
Yeah.
care of that person? What do you do with timing or preventing pregnancy in the biblical sense? I don't mean that in the child sacrifice sense. So how do you handle all of those things in a I don't have any resources situation? Like, what are your options?
Yeah.
And so we talk about all of that. A lot of times people are like, oh, I don't want to learn how to deliver babies. I'm like, it's this much of the whole class. Right?
Yeah.
Like, we're talking about menstrual cycles and pregnancy prevention and timing pregnancy, and how do you take care of the 13-year-old that went out for water or was gardening in the yard and got assaulted? Because let's just be very honest, when we're dealing with civil unrest, bad things happen to women and children. They get trafficked, they get sold, they get assaulted. And so what do you do? Do you know how to care for those individuals when those situations have arisen? Most people don't. And I would even say that most EMS personnel don't know how to do that, because even in my chosen field, we rarely discuss gynecological, pediatric, and OB emergencies. It's like way late on the totem pole, and that has a lot to do with the fact that it's just not sexy. Like, tourniquets are sexy, they're fun. I love plugging holes just as much as someone else does. But as someone who's a seasoned EMS professional, been a medic for a long time, like, I can probably count on both hands.
Yep. That's rare.
The amount of time, and I worked in a very busy, large city.
Yeah.
Okay. More calls than a lot of calls in an hour type of thing, right? Like, I know what a big, busy city looks like. And I'm just saying, like, it's very rare that I'm stripping someone down, throwing a tourniquet on them, plugging a bunch of chest wounds. And have I done it? Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
But that doesn't happen as much as a cardiac arrest,
Yep.
pain, respiratory emergencies, a child with a fever. So if you don't know how to take care of those things, that's the stuff that's going to kill you slowly, right?
Yep.
Like those are the things that are going to be agonizing, no fun. A UTI will kill somebody. And
Yeah.
that's a shocker to most people. You'll be septic in a couple of days, and then you will die a very slow and painful death because the sepsis has to take over all of the cells in the body. Like it's not a fun way to go.
Mm-mm.
Right? And so if you
Mhm.
can learn how to take care of those things, especially in my class where we don't just talk about pharmacological intervention, like I'm teaching you about herbs and homeopathics and probably most of this stuff you have in your kitchen right now
Mhm.
is just not, it's not taught anymore, and it's like that knowledge is dying, and so I want to preserve it and share it with everybody.
Yeah. I agree with that. And for people who haven't been as a first responder, haven't been in the military and stuff, like you said, they just go off of what movies that they see, right? Or certain like doomsday prepper aspects that they think that's sexy and stuff like that. But in reality, man, like just example, just like with you or like myself, being ex law enforcement, like I dealt with more people and see EMS and firefighters. I've seen
Mm-hmm.
them deal with more people who were, like you said, when it comes to like UTIs or infections and stuff like that,
Yep.
dude, like the whole time I only probably busted out my tourniquet maybe like one time, a chest seal one time.
Right.
Everything else was internally, dealing with that. And yeah,
Right. And so I want people to take that same energy that we've put into, because look, the stop the bleed, the tourniquet invasion is what I like to call it. That's important.
okay, I heard that a couple times. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, go ahead, keep going.
Okay. So it is important. I am not minimizing that education. I'm not minimizing that importance, but low risk, high reward skills are, one, very important, and two, perishable. And so that's why we have to practice them all the time. Um, those larger motor skills like riding a bike, driving your car, making dinner, using a knife, shooting your, those are things that we do or should be doing, right, all of the time. And so we feel more comfortable with them. But taking care of women and children is just really low, or medical in general is just really low on people's like, oh yeah, we don't have to worry about
Radar. Yeah.
because Walmart's available. I can go to Walgreens. I can, I can go to the grocery store. I can get these things. Amazon, like everybody's like, oh, I'll just put it in my Amazon cart. Well, you know, it that's not guaranteed.
Call it like it is, girl. Come on.
That's not guaranteed. Again, I mean, just look at how products have changed, like how we have moved product around our country has changed so dramatically. We now have pulled away from moving mass amounts of equipment and provisions on trains to now we're using a teenager with his mom's car and an Amazon sticker on the side of it, and that dude is dropping my package off.
Mhm.
So what happens when that workforce goes?
Yeah.
What happens? I mean, think about what happened even during 2020, right? It took longer to get packages. It took everything, cost went up significantly. So it's thinking about how, and that was minimum. Like, I know everybody thought that was huge. I know that was huge to everybody. But it really wasn't. Stuff was still moving. There were
Yeah.
still food in the grocery store. So come back and talk to me when we're revisiting history and thinking about what happened when the Bolsheviks took over.
Yeah.
When you have families fighting over yeast and flour to make bread. And I don't wish that upon anybody. I don't want that to happen. That's not necessarily even the basis of why I'm teaching people these skills. but it is something we need to be thinking about, because everyone's like, oh, that's never going to happen. Oh, that's never going to happen. Oh, that's not. Well, that's because they just removed history from our history books, right?
Yep.
And they've been indoctrinating our children for years.
Yes.
So we don't think that that can happen. It absolutely can. And this isn't a red versus blue issue. This is humanity against evil issue. Like, this is very much a spiritual warfare problem.
Yep.
And the removal of Christ being center in everything. That means
Yep.
government, healthcare, law, home, the church, etc. Like, it's just been, he's been so watered down and so, this is a derogatory term towards my own gender, but he's been so feminized.
Yep.
Right? And femininity is important, and I'm a woman, and I love being a woman, but I'm just saying, like, he's been so watered down that he's just some dude, right? Yeah. With like a fraternity from a long time ago.
Yeah.
That we're
just like your chill Jesus.
Yeah. So I take all of these elements to really just kind of pass my knowledge on and help people learn how to take care of themselves. I won't be here forever, thank God. And so I want to pass the torch on to the next person.
Oh, bravo with that. Yeah. Yeah, and going back to what you're saying about the whole pandemic and all that, to me, like you said, it wasn't like the worst thing out there, but to me, it was a practice run, in my opinion.
Oh, for sure.
On to see on how far they can get, on to see how far they can push people. And honestly, the majority fell for it, man. The majority got pressured and they fell for it. And a couple examples on a couple of people I work with, they got convinced into taking the jab because I know certain people in certain jobs, they were getting pressured like, look, if you don't do this, you're fired. If you don't do X, Y, and Z, you cannot be able to get a paycheck.
Mm-hmm.
And people felt that pressure and they just went ahead and just did it. And yeah. So, but people got to understand too, is that the more prepared you are, the more knowledge you have, the better off you're going to be. And not only that, it puts so many people's faith to the test, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so to me, that was just a pre-run of what's going to be happening.
For sure. And you know, we're not guaranteed getting whisked off this planet before the really bad stuff happens, right? Like,
yep.
That's the thing that I don't necessarily love about being a Christian, is you are constantly in the pressure cooker.
That's a fact.
It's not fun. I don't love it. You know, which is why I'm just going to get more of it, because I have to learn to love the suffering.
Yep. As they say, embrace the suck. You know what it is? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. And okay, whatever, you know, but I think it's important for us to also add balance to our life and be very cautious about who we listen to and who we spend time with. My favorite word is no.
There you go. Yeah.
I love just telling people, no, I'm not participating. I'm not doing that. That's not happening, you know, whatever. And that just has a lot to do with me growing and becoming a better version of myself, and saying it's not beneficial to my physical body, my emotional self, my spiritual self to be a part of X, whatever X is, right?
Yeah.
And so pulling away from the doom porn is kind of what I like to refer to it as.
Oh yeah, fear porn. That's what I call it, fear porn. But yeah.
Yeah, like thing. Come on, it's just, and I get sucked into it too, man. I do.
Oh yeah, right here. I hear you.
It's super easy to do that because, golly gee whiz, it's everywhere. So toss the phone, go hang out with family and friends, and create those communities. probably the top, one of the top 3 reasons I really created this course is really just all about, hey, I can't be everywhere, and you need to figure out who your community is. So having people in their area spend an entire day with me, while I'm fun to hang out with. But the most important part is going, oh, I didn't know you lived in my neighborhood. Oh, I didn't know you attended my church. Oh, I didn't know that my kids and you go to the same homeschool co-op group. Like, putting all those people together and kind of dropping a bomb in a great way. Like, look, you guys all, it's a glitter bomb. You guys all work together. You guys can all create a family, whatever that family looks like, and care for each other. So if and when something does go sideways, you can rely on the 80s, 90s moms. They were so good at the phone tree, like they were so good at that.
Yeah.
That so-and-so is in the hospital. We all need to get together and pray. You make casseroles.
Yep.
You can take the kids, go
Get
pick
that
them
meal
up.
train going. Yep.
Yeah. And we need to institute that again, because man, those moms had that on lockdown. Like, I think they're faster than social media, to be very honest. So
Yeah.
if we can kind of start pulling and gleaning from the good stuff from the older generations and meshing it with the technology and skill set and resources that we have in this modern world, man, they can toss just about whatever the heck they want at us, and we're going to be cockroaches. We're going to survive that.
Yeah, I agree. 100% too. And what's funny is when you mentioned that the whole 90s aspect and, the phone trees and all that, like people can actually start off simple. That's one thing that we got in my neighborhood. I live at, 'cause I live way out in the county, but it's in like this little like neighborhood division way out in the county though. But we actually have like a little like Facebook forum just for our neighborhood.
Sure.
If anything's going on, like, hey, so and so sick, cool. What do you guys need? Stuff like that. We're always in the loop with each other. Or like, hey, Greg's out of town. Do you guys know that? Oh shoot. Okay, I'll go over there and make sure everything's good to go, or whatever.
Right.
Like
cut his grass, those kinds of things.
Yeah.
That's important stuff. Absolutely.
Yeah. And and not only that, with the whole because everyone's just glued on their damn phones now.
Yeah.
No one's engaging anyone. No one's getting to know people. No one's going to like that depth of getting to know someone personally, because just example, right? It's back then it was actually awesome for someone to knock on your door. Oh, cool. Who's here? Who's come to visit? Now someone knocks on your door, you're like, guns up. What's going on? Who's here? You know what I'm saying?
I get on the door and I default to, who the blank is this?
Who's at the door? It's like, hey, it's me. Like, oh, okay, sorry, buddy.
Okay. Yeah, for sure.
But that's one thing that they definitely did program in a lot of people, and it was just the whole fear factor of it. But it's just, to me, that was part of their plan. Let's just freaking isolate everybody.
Yep.
Let's not make them free thinkers. That way we can control them and we can get what we want out of them.
Oh yeah. Yeah, isolation is a killer for sure. It'll make you go loony bin.
That whole lone wolf don't work. The whole lone wolf mentality do not work.
No, it makes a great movie, right? It's a really awesome movie plot, but it's not realistic. It's not implementable.
Oh yeah, I agree 100%, man, on that. Okay. Where's he at? Oh, my son just walked in. I don't know where the heck he went. I think he already went out. Anyways, okay. Sorry.
Okay.
Okay, he's hiding. Okay. But anyways, yeah, so okay, bud, you can hang out in here. That's fine. Yeah, so as far as that, what were, oh my gosh, how do I put this? So when you were contracting with the military and all that, okay? And then you were doing the whole civilian aspect and all that. What brought you to that aha moment? Like, holy crap, I really got to get on the ball here and show people and teach them the basics and stuff like that. What was your first class with your business that you have? How do I put this? Where and when did you teach like your first class of the, of the whole combat midwife aspect, your business? Where did
Oh,
that take place?
oh gosh, many, many years ago.
Yeah.
I was still working W-2 style for the government. Now,
Yeah.
now I have the best relationship with them. I'm contractor, they pay my business and I just say, yep, I'll fix that problem for you.
Yeah.
That's a much better relationship to have with the government than the other way around where they own you.
Right.
So yeah, so the aha moment, I don't know that I can necessarily pinpoint that. It's a kind of a good question. Maybe I should do some self-reflection. I don't know that I can necessarily pinpoint that, but what I can tell you is that I think it's always been ingrained in me is be self-reliant. Like
Yeah.
it's okay to need people, you just need to need the right people.
Yes.
Don't right, it is a human emotion and a human feeling that you should need people. Like we are supposed to be in community.
Mhm.
That's not what I'm saying, but it was really like, don't count on people that can't actually perform or help you out in any way, because it's really just going to be one of my favorite verses. And this is kind of weird to people, but like, don't cast your pearls before swine.
Yep.
I use that often. I love to use it as a temperature gauge. Like how are you a Christian? Because if I say that and they go, what are you talking about? And I'm like, okay, I understand where you're at. I'm going to help you now. Right. Like, let me figure out where you need to go. But it's important to not be letting people into your circle. And I think that also just comes from being a midwife, right? Like I've delivered a lot of babies. I've worked in an Afghan refugee camp where I ran the Women and Children's Center. Like there's a lot of babies. There's a lot of people to care for. There's a lot of refugees. So, I've been around a lot of pregnant people, and it is important, like who you let into your birth world, your birth room. Like, don't put people in there that don't have your best interest at heart. And that's where it really got solidified. But I feel like I've always been that way. Probably because I was maybe raised that way. I was a homeschooled kid. We were Christians. I attended protests probably before I was even double digits in age. Like I've always kind of been on that fringe outside. I don't go with the crowd. It's not that I'm not liked and don't fit in that aspect. It's more like, that's cool. I'm glad I'm glad that works for you, but it's not biblical. It's not right. I'm not going to participate. Right. So I don't have a problem going, yeah, not for me. Thanks for inviting me, but I'm not participating in that. So what probably was a really big blow to my reality would have been being in the nitty-gritty of really controlling the outcome of somebody's life when we were in the heat of sending people over to Iraq and Afghanistan. So, I'm training them, they're hanging out with me for X amount of weeks, and I'm literally signing their paperwork, and they're getting shipped over with a unit that is already there, about to deploy, leaving tomorrow, whatever, right?
Yeah.
And so when I started going, wait, what are we doing? Okay, time out. Why are we doing this operation or this mission? And I started to kind of ask questions, but not verbally, right? Because I don't want to be
that one
a red flag. I don't want to be a herring. I don't want to be the canary in the coal. Like you got to go with the flow in that environment, because it's a safety issue. I like my job. Like there's a lot of things going on with that.
Yeah, definitely got to fly under the radar.
Yeah. And so I started kind of just going, wait, what is happening? And I don't know how this happened, but I really kind of stumbled upon the Tea Party movement. Remember
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
And it was much harder to find things on the internet then, simply because they didn't exist yet, not because they were being hidden. It was
Yeah.
because stuff was literally unfolding in real time. But the whole reason the military job sounded so interesting was because I'm doing my part to get back at 9/11, right? Like,
Yeah.
my brothers and sisters died in that, so I'm playing my part.
Yeah.
And I went, wait, that shit didn't even go down wait, okay, time out, hold on.
Yep.
You're telling me I'm sending someone's son or daughter over to someone else's country to kick in doors and slit people's throats for no reason? Yeah, and now I have to live with that?
Yeah.
Okay. No. So I think that kind of put like a real big, there's just a huge turd in a punch bowl, right? Like, I didn't know really what to do with any of that information. So here I am doing my job during the day, but then on my free time, I'm researching stuff and going, there's no damn planes. Like,
Yeah.
wait, time out. Israel did what?
Yeah.
And I'm over here having panic attacks going, I can't share any of this information with people that I think are my friends at work, because they're gonna lock me up. And I'm not being hyperbolic. Like, they're gonna think that I've lost it. So that really lit the fire under me to go, I don't want to play these games anymore. I'm out. I'm out with the medical stuff. I don't like what's happening in that realm. I'm just out. I don't want to play no more. So I'm gonna take my toys and I'm gonna go home. Right. And that, I think that was a really big shift.
I got you. Now, speaking of that, with the whole pull out of Afghanistan,
Mm.
with them bringing people over and stuff like that, did you have to deal with anything like that? With the after effects, with dealing with people, soldiers, or any people coming over, or did you
Yeah.
go across and help out, or what did you do?
So I worked in the refugee camps for the operation of bringing those individuals that helped the U.S. in any way, shape, or form. I don't know how real you want me to get on here.
Girl, go for it.
I think it was a
Yours.
pile of crap. There's no way in heck that many people, we have hundreds of thousands of Afghans in this country right now that are scattered all over the place. They were also sent to specific states for specific reasons. I believe to skew voting stuff, if you believe in that, which I don't.
Yeah.
I don't believe your vote matters for a hill of beans, but
100%. I agree too. Yeah, I believe your vote doesn't matter either.
I don't play in that stuff. But I definitely believe that on a micro level, inserting a large amount of people that will never assimilate to the culture of America will skew populations, will change local law, will introduce,
Yeah, they're trying to do the same thing that what's going on in England, what's going
yes,
on in Europe right now.
yes,
We just said loads of massive people over there that eventually will get into politics that will change the culture. Next thing you know, they're taking over.
right. And the next thing you have a Catholic church being turned into a mosque. So yes, I absolutely believe that is happening. And I spent over 6 months in an Afghan refugee camp while my job was to work in the women and children's division. I obviously saw everything that was going on. And I will tell you that there were more military aged men in those camps than anything else.
Oh yeah, I agree. Not only that, in my opinion, talking to some people and stuff like that, and my mom's oh gosh, my mom's ex-fiance was actually border patrol at the time down there in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna call it out, with Biden and them opening up the borders, letting all these people come in. I 100% believe we actually have secret cells here. Straight up, we have secret cells here. You know, terrorists, Afghanistan organizations, stuff like that. They have caught camps of these guys training and stuff. It's all And how do you get a world power? You crumble it from the inside out, from their teachings, the schools, the rhetoric, the mental capacity, everything. And plus you plant all these things in here. It's just, to me, it's just a ticking time bomb. Or it's like cancer. It's just eating it away piece by piece by piece by piece.
Right. And I Texas is my home. That's where I'm from. That's where I live. Like that's my home. And so when you constantly are seeing the news bury, they're just burying that entire plot of land that they're trying to turn into some Shira community, right? Over my dead body, like, resurrect the Crusades, bro.
Yeah.
No, like that is a hill I'm willing to die on.
Yeah.
And I that's literal, not figurative. So I'm not doing that. That is not a religion of peace.
No, 100%. It's not.
So we can just stop using that talking point. I find it ironic, since I am a woman, that the modern day feminists are so worried about murdering babies and shoving rods in their head and sucking out their brains. But you don't want to talk about the women who have their vaginas sewed shut. You don't want to talk about the women who are forced to wear fabric from head to toe and can't show anything more than their mouth and nose. Okay, you don't want to talk about the little girls that are sold. They are exchanged for money. The family gets money and some goats, which are also abused, and then they sell them to someone who's 40, 50, 60 years old.
Pedophiles, straight up.
So you have these 9-year-old girls that's happening to, and you don't hear anything about that, but you're like, bring the Muslims over here. It'll be great. It'll be fun. They have great food. First of all, the food is shit. And secondly, no, I don't want 9-year-olds. Mohammed married a 6-year-old.
Yep.
And you're telling me that has no bearing on, and their rebuttal is, but he waited till she was 9. Not, dude, pound sand.
Yeah.
Pound sand. I'm not doing that. That's not happening. I don't want that happening absolutely anywhere at all. But I definitely
don't bring that crap here.
I don't want that here. And you have that already starting, right? Like, you're having that assimilation to their culture. We're kowtowing to what they want to do because we don't want to offend them, and they're just lovely people. No.
I agree with you 100%. To me, it's just all it's all a shell. And you know, people got to understand too is that if you read the whole Quran, it's brutal. The more and more you read it, the more and more in depth you go. It is not a religion of peace.
No,
you know, they're out to kill the infidels, straight up,
right,
hands down.
Right. Someone said this to me the other day, and I can't unsee it and I can't unhear it. But Mormonism is the white version of Muslims. And I went,
got a point.
I'm uncomfortable. Right? Because you're like, well, yeah, their stories are the same. A magical book fell from the heavens.
Yeah.
cool angel said, hey, you're the chosen one now. And I'm like, wait, I'm pretty sure that goes against Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we have 4 biblical texts that have been proven repeatedly.
Yeah, and only that, Jesus talks about that in, in Matthew 24, Luke 21. Anyone comes in my name saying they are the God, don't go there. If anyone comes saying they are the Messiah, da 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 da. Yeah, pump the brakes, man.
Hold the phone, bro. Yeah, exactly. And that's just where we've gotten, is it's so muddy, it's so confusing, and you have all these people using the word Christian. And I've gotten to the point where I know you can I know you're shocked, but I have no filter, right? And so I have I have no problem looking at someone going, what you say you're a Christian, but what does that mean to you? What is your definition of that?
Yeah,
Because
you have
we've gotten
to.
to a point where everybody loves to use that word, is especially the big guy that's in charge of this, supposedly in charge of this place right now, right? Trump likes to throw the word Christian around all the time. And I know I'm not Jesus, but I can judge the fruit on the tree, and that fruit looks real rotten.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not adding up, bro. It's just not.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah, especially all the other stuff that came out recently too. It's like, what the freak, man. But yeah, I do 100% agree with that. And and just there's a lot to unpack. A lot, like I gotta have you on for like 3 more, but 3 more episodes, seriously. But
we get that.
Yeah, but as far as that, like going back to the whole, prepping and medical information and stuff like that, and this all aligns with with the whole like religious aspect, with the we'll call it how it is, the whole Muslim community, those extremists, right? Dealing with that, with the whole pedophile ring, them getting girls, sexually abusing them, stuff like that. And if you happen to run across that, this leads back to your teachings.
It does.
How do you medically help these little girls out? How do you medically help a kid out, or a woman who's been beaten, stuff like that?
Right.
Yeah.
We go into depth about the different situations that can take place, and we definitely really talk about that. But I judge the room, and this is definitely this is a mission I've just been sent on. I don't know that I necessarily love it every day that God's kind of sent. That's a military.
I hear that.
Give it a second. It's sorry. They're taking off.
Oh, you're good. No, you're good. You're good. I can still hear you.
I asked them so nicely, hey, can you guys time your stuff? Because like I'm trying to record. They don't listen to me.
Turn it down, guys.
Turn down the Go America. Turn it down a little bit.
But real quick though, since you've been teaching these classes, real quick, have you gotten any feedback or any emails or anything? Have people have actually used it? I'm sure they have, but
oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I have people that are it's catchy and hip right now to use the terminology free birth, right? Where they're birthing their babies at home. They bought my OB kit, they came to my class, and they're just rolling with it. They're just going to have their babies at home, and not get them stamped by the government, and they're kind of incognito kids. And I think that's amazing. I truly believe that there's a really big spiritual warfare against the family right now, and specifically against women and children, because when you take away the ability for a woman to be in her ultimate divine power, you affect life, right? And that is generational. So when you instill in women fear of being pregnant, fear of giving birth, fear of feeding your own child, fear of them dying in the first year, when you start putting all that garbage in their head, it changes the trajectory of generations. And it only takes 3 generations to change a habit. So if you think about it, we might be the second or third generation of like having babies in hospitals, depending on where you are age wise and where you are in your family. You know, our great grandmothers and most of our grandmas, depending on who you're talking to, had their babies at home. You know, just pop a kid out, put a baby on the breast and move on. She went back to cooking that afternoon. Now, I don't agree with that part, but you know, she went back to living her life, right? Like just doing things. And I know someone's going to be like, but the, you know, maternal death rate and blah, blah, that's garbage. You want to know who came up with all that crap? It's the Rockefellers. It was early 1900s. There was a humongous smear campaign against midwives. Just look it up. Put midwives, smear, and campaign in any search engine. Click the image, search, and you're going to see wanted posters for midwives. Wanted posters. She's ugly, uneducated. She's from another country. She's dirty. She carries diseases. Don't have your babies with her. They were putting out wanted posters for these women and making them look like they were these evil people, when really it's like, no, women are supposed to take care of other women during a very vulnerable time. And we're supposed to pass down the knowledge of this is how you rear children, and this is how you give birth, and this is how you breastfeed babies. Not any different than a man passing down to his sons how to be a man.
Yeah.
And I'm not a man, so I don't know what you guys talk about, but you get my point. So we're disrupting that, and it was the Carnegies and the Rockefellers that just started feeding fear into women of it's dirty outside the home, you need the medications, you need all the stuff that we give you. And then we had a whole generation of babies born during twilight sleep. So that's when you put women in stirrups, you cut a 4th degree episiotomy. So that's from vagina to anus, and just rip out a baby with salad tongs known as forceps. And then you wonder why the boomers are messed up. I'll tell you exactly why the boomers are messed up. Okay. They never bonded with their parents.
Yeah.
There's no bond. There was no connection because birth was completely interrupted. So this isn't just a girl who wants to have cozy things and candles around a blow-up pool. This is spiritual. This is changing the trajectory of families and keeping that family bond really intact. When you knocked out women and you pulled dads out of the delivery room and said, hey, go smoke a cigar in the waiting room with the other dads, and then you put a baby for 3 to 5 days in a nursery, no one even knows each other.
Yeah.
That scenario I just painted you is no different than a one-night stand. There's no bonding. There's no trajectory of a relationship. There's nothing. You have taken a physical event and made it only that. There's no spiritual connection. You ripped it away.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to bring that back, and I'm not the only one out there screaming all this stuff. Midwives have been saying, you forgot about us. We're over here. We can help you. So, you know, if you're not into having a baby on your own, I offer a ton of different resources for that, right? You can hire me to be your midwife. I'll come fly out and take care of you. You can do a virtual midwifery program with me. A lot of people are loving that, going, we got this. But if I could just call you and ask you a few questions, or can you be on the phone while we're pushing? Sure, that's fine. You know, phone, I'll tap in and phone in. That'll be great. So a lot of people are loving that, of being able to say, I don't want a birth certificate. I don't want a social security card. I don't want to have my baby be known by the government at all until they're of age and can make those decisions on their own, and they're out of the system then. You can also a la carte this. Maybe some of those things resonate with you and other things don't. And that's the thing. Like, you get to make your own decisions. This is your own journey.
Yeah. Man, this is good stuff, dude. Okay. God, I gotta get you back on, girl. I gotta get you back on because we can go so many directions. Okay. So go back. Okay, I'm trying to write this in my notes, but we kept going, and I'm like, oh crap, what was that? So, all right. So tell me what okay, so basically you told our listeners what to look up when it was basically a psyop war
Yes.
against the midwives. What was that to look up again? What was it called?
So the Rockefellers and the Carnegies wanted to make money off of medical education. So
Yes.
meaning medical school for doctors.
Yeah.
And they went, huh, we're missing 50% of the population. Psst, that's women. And those midwives are delivering all the babies. So let's create a smear campaign and let's make them look dirty. So if you put the word midwife and then the word smear and then the word campaign in any search engine, hits, search and then click the image option, you're going to actually see the wanted posters that will come up.
Okay.
I should start saving these because I'm sure they're going to get removed eventually because I keep telling people to do this.
Yeah, take like screenshots and just save them, yeah.
Yeah, I probably should start doing that. But yeah, you'll see exactly, like there's a really famous one of an Irish woman and she just looks like the sweetest little, she makes great cookies type of Irish lady, but it says she's dirty, she carries diseases, she doesn't speak English, she's illiterate, she can't, read or write. Yeah, it's gross.
Okay, yeah. Matter of fact, I'm seeing them, yeah. Yeah, I basically just typed it in and oh, it's a trip, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yep. Okay, cool. Yep. All right, awesome. Yeah, I'm gonna take screenshots of these, yeah. Yeah, because my wife, she yeah, because during COVID, my wife got on this I'm glad I sent her on this journey because I like to study conspiracies and
Mm-hmm.
biblical end times and stuff like that. And she's hardcore, like in the medical field, like when it comes to like the food we eat, all the crap, that's that basically that America allows their people to eat when it comes to the freaking red dyes and all that stuff, right?
Sure.
Well, and also like the whole medical field because she was totally against the jab. We did not have our kids do it. We didn't do it. And all that she was getting pressure from her freaking doctor, from our
pediatrician.
Yeah. And because during was 2020 is when we had our son. So so after that we just kind of like departed from that, and then she's big into like holistics and stuff like that now and everything. So but I'm definitely gonna turn her on to this. So she's gonna freak out when she, oh my gosh, this is gonna be good. So yeah. But other than that, but yeah, as far as the whole website and everything, how much has this grown since you started your business? How much has it grown?
A lot. I'm pretty busy. Yeah. We have classes all over the country. We'll be at some really big locations. I'll be at the ranch in Texas, which is great. It's a 300 acre shooting complex, and they teach.
Wait, I know exactly what you're talking. I forgot. Oh, is it called Thunder Ranch?
Just the ranch.
Just the ranch? Okay.
Yep.
But go ahead, keep going.
And and we just partnered up, and so they'll be hosting my classes there. So the next one that's coming up at that location is the 13th of September. I just jumped on board with WAFT, which is where our families train, which is also another shooting complex in Florida. I don't even know how large their place is. It's ginormous. But they really focus on helping families know how to protect themselves. So kids are involved, and they teach medical classes as well too. So I think that course is in October, and both of those locations are going to be reoccurring where I'll be there often. But I have classes in Kentucky. I have South Carolina. They're all over the place. I can't keep all that. I have people that take care of that for me. I just go, where am I going to be this month? Because it's just where I'm all over the place. I pretty much live out of a suitcase and an airport because I'm constantly on the go. And while that is really a crummy kind of lifestyle, I know that I'm on a mission that's really important, and I know that I'm changing people's lives, and I'm helping them be more self-sufficient and self-reliant, and have any flavor of exiting the system that is appropriate for them and their family. And I'm able to provide that. And so it's been really special. Then I also teach at a ton of different like homesteading and prepper conferences and stuff. And so if you want to use the interactive map of it's called Jessica in the Wild. So if you just go to my website, you can kind of see like, where am I going to be? If you just want to come hang out with me and maybe go to the prepper conference and spend, 30 minutes or so kind of listening to something I'm going to talk about. But if you want to go to the full class, they're all over the place. And I've had several locations that aren't listed because they're closed classes.
Yeah.
So they're for specific communities. It's not open to the public. So it's the exact same class. It's just only their people.
Privatized.
Yeah, it's a private class. So I have a ton of those that are happening this year too. They're just not, it's not open to the public. So those tickets aren't available, but all the tickets are on my website. I have a ton of free information as well that's on my website. So I've written articles for different magazines. Those are all on my website. I participated in writing an EMS textbook that's open source. So if you want to have me in digital form, you can. And that book link is on the website. I've been on so many podcasts, I can't remember all of them. And those are all located on my website. So there's a ton of free material as well that you can access and kind of have me in your back pocket, either listen to my voice or digitally. And then, there's a bunch of stuff on that website.
Good stuff, girl. Yeah, like I basically like I'm gonna tell you, like I tell everybody else who I interview. Yeah, I'm basically gonna have all your information in the show notes, so all the listeners go on. They'll just scroll down, find all your information, click it, and it'll go directly to where basically all your plugins and everything.
For sure. And the links are, you'll put those in the show notes, but it's pretty easy. It's everything, whether it's Twitter or Facebook or what, it's just Combat Midwife. And even my website is combatmidwife.com. And then I gifted you guys and your listeners a code, and it won't expire. So if you're listening to this episode this month or 4 years from now, you'll be able to use the code. So it's Warfare. So it'll give you a discount off of the standard price for the workshop. Because I just want to be able to give you guys a gift.
Awesome. Cool beans. Now, for anyone who's in this, for all the listeners, for anyone who's ex-military, anything like that, other than people who've had paranormal and stuff encounters, IEDC carry, I know you do somehow, something.
Yeah.
What do you carry on a daily basis?
You're asking me about my handgun?
No. Well, yes.
Medical stuff?
Yes, medical stuff, since we're talking about that.
Well, you're going to hate me about the whole gun thing because I travel so much. It is such a pain in the you-know-what to get
I hear that. Yeah.
Off of an airplane. So I don't carry anything. And I hate saying that because it makes me really uncomfortable. I'm by myself all the time. I'm traveling. It would be great to have my lead friend with me, but I can't, right? Because it's so hard to travel with it. But my medical stuff that I carry with me is very specific to where I'm going and the season. So I focus a lot on what I'll be doing that month. Like in September, I'll be doing a lot of outdoor training. So I'm going to have a ton of stuff that is very outdoor specific, right? And so I just change up my gear a lot. I don't have a particular buy this kit, it has everything you need in it. There's nothing wrong. I think those are great starter packs for a lot of people. They're like so overwhelmed and they don't know where to start.
What to get, yeah.
And I think that's lovely, and I'm so glad that someone did that. However, me kind of having my own thing, I like to pick and choose. If you're going to make me stick to a particular tourniquet, I'm always going to say cat because I just feel the most comfortable with that. The military loves that. They use that all the time. I've used it a ton. And here's my thing with equipment. Equipment is utterly useless if you don't know what it is, its specifications, and you've not trained with it. So when people say, what's the best X to get? My reply is the exact same thing. Something you know how to use, something you know the specifications of, and something that you know that you've practiced with. Yeah. Otherwise, you could get the most amazing stethoscope or the most amazing tourniquet, but if you've never put your hands on it, I mean, it's pretty much trash. It's just a really expensive paperweight.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Only that, it's on the operator too. Like,
yes,
and that's the point of prepping is training. You
yes.
got to train with your stuff, man.
Absolutely, you know? Absolutely. Yeah. If you haven't trained with your stuff, it's just you're not doing yourself a service. You're not doing the other person a service, and it kind of makes you look like a donkey butt. So let's just not do that.
Yeah, I agree. And not only that too, you know, it's, yeah, and that's one thing you talked about how you freaking travel so much. And I've done that. I flew, and it is a process, dude, checking in your weapon. And not only that, sometimes it gets held up in customs or it doesn't make the flight and you gotta wait. And it's like, oh my gosh, dude, yeah. So yep, I don't blame you one bit, man. Like I would probably do the same thing. So I'd probably get a freaking like podunk knife every time I hit a state. Like, all right, I'm gonna get this knife. That's good enough for me. And then when I get there, I'm gonna trash it and go to the next state. I'll get another knife, you know, whatever.
That's actually not a bad idea.
Oh yeah. That's yeah. Too, I'm just saying, they also have like neck knives, but they're not steel. They're made out of carbon fiber. You can get through metal detectors with them. Not saying I've done that, but just saying. Yeah. So I can actually send you some stuff. We'll talk more off air, but I'll send you some stuff and yeah. So yeah. So
that's interesting. I've not heard of that. I mean, you learn something every day. That's great.
Yeah. So yeah, they actually have like carbon fiber or Kydex knives that aren't steel. Everything's just not metal. And you can
I find it a great joy in life to piss off TSA. So
yeah.
I can't get through without them wanting to sexually assault me. So because my mannequins look like I smushed dead people in boxes. They're too stupid to realize obviously that's silicone, you dumb person. So yeah, if I can add to the repertoire to make them uncomfortable while I berate them about, do you enjoy doing this job? Do you enjoy terrorizing Americans? Do you find pleasure in this? Yeah. So I'll be on a watch list if I'm not already at some point.
You already are. We all are. That's all there is to it. It's just the nature of the beast, girl. We all are. Whatever, you know. Hey, you know, freedom, whatever. But yeah. Jessica, girl, I appreciate you. Before you go, okay, what advice will you give to listeners who are just getting into this stuff? Basically, just a broad answer of when it comes to preparing and someone who's just listening or just wanting to get into this. What advice would you give them? Oh, what'd you say?
Come hang out with me in my class because I'm going to give you so much nuggets of knowledge. You're not going to know what to do with all of it. So come hang out with me. That would be my advice.
That works, girl. That works. Yeah, and that's about it, girl. I gotta have you back on. We'll on this. We'll chat a little more. I'll let you go, but we are definitely going to schedule you ASAP for you to come back on, and we'll talk more about these other aspects we're talking about. You know, yeah, we'll talk more.
Perfect. Thank you, Drew. Thank you so much for having me on it. It was a blessing.
Hey, I appreciate you coming on, girl. Like-minded people, I love it. Other than that, guys, guys, it's been a good podcast. Yeah, if you guys got any questions for Jessica, guys, hit her up. I will have everything in the show notes. If you guys haven't looked it up, look up Combat Midwife. I actually have everything down here on this little news screen. It says guest Jessica Combat Midwife and www.combatmidwife.com. Go look her up. Like I said, I'll have everything in the show notes, guys. All you gotta do is scroll down and click on it. I have all her websites up. You guys need to get a hold of her. Hit her up. Wealth of knowledge, guys. Good people. Yes. And my son says, hit her up. So, yeah. So other than that, guys, okay, buddy, yeah, she's quiet. Okay, other than that, guys, hope you guys have a good week. Be safe, and yeah, just always remember, guys, we're not just wrestling against flesh and blood, but against principalities and rulers of this age, guys. Ephesians 6:12. So if you guys have a blessed week, you guys in anything, hit me up. All right, be safe. That's right, buddy. Later.